Welcome to Bionicle Commentary Central, the #1 podcast of Bionicle Comedy Central. Actually, it's our only podcast.
Banana chocolate chip.
Well,
That's
pretty much
also
the only one.
BCC.
all right.
And Galador Comedy Central.
No, someone censor that, man.
Oh.
Anyways, I'm Chris, here with LQ, Leo, and
Hey.
Fordian.
Hello.
Bleg.
And now that we had that randomness from Leo, LQ, would you like to introduce our topic?
Well, recently, the most Bionicle 2015 news we've got has come from TTV interviewing Merlin Mann, where we've got a ton of behind-the-scenes info and a lot of alluding to this summer's videos.
I'm eating.
We're not going to bother a recap of this because this podcast is assuming you've already watched the interview, or at least know what it's about.
And if you haven't, just look it up. We have Google, people. This is the information age.
There's also transcripts that they put up, I believe. I read the part 2 transcript. I listened to the first part because I was like, transcripts,
I'm going to go ahead and say I watched the first one, but I was multitasking. I was not paying attention. So then LQ yelled at me for a bit. I yelled at him. He yelled at me more. He was louder and more convincing, so I just went ahead and I read the transcript. So now I'm all caught up.
Alright.
True story, right, LQ?
Yes, sadly.
Sadly, it's the stories that make this channel great. Maybe not that one, but...
It's definitely not your fountain story.
Hey, that's on the exclusive episode that will be released exclusively on the BCC DVD someday.
You wouldn't dare release that to the public.
Not to the public.
I would dare release that to the public.
That episode
For $9.99. Plus shipping and handling.
So, anyways, my first response to this interview was Merlin Mann was not at all what I was expecting. He's not like most professionals in this industry would act, which I think is really refreshing.
True. He seemed very relaxed about everything. He wasn't just to the point. He didn't seem like he was dodging any of their questions.
Which I really like.
And the thing is, like, if he had the opportunity to dodge a question, he would just say, sorry, can't answer that NDA.
Yeah, which is what
And that I
Greg
was
would do,
okay
kind
with.
of, but he's a bit less blunt about it.
Greg would just be all, that's not canon, moving on.
He'd be like, yeah, I can't do that because I can't tell you about future story, or like, I don't have a list of names, or the story Bible just got burned in a warehouse or something. I don't know.
Yeah, what you find with a lot of these professionals, especially, is they're so protective of everything that goes on too. And Merlin Mann wasn't like that. He accepted criticism of the community.
In fact, he could even go a step further and say, it seemed like I'm wondering, do I refer to him as Merlin or Mr. Mann? I'm just gonna call him Merlin for now. But anyways, what I really liked about him is that he identifies so much with the fans. Like, he's not exactly a CEO sitting down on his throne overlooking us. He identifies himself as one of the fanboys, the geeks and nerds he keeps calling them. So I thought that was really cool.
He said in one of the questions that he had listened to a whole bunch of the podcasts that TTV had put out.
Not just TTV. He said he listened to every Bionicle podcast he could find.
Oh my god,
That's a feat right there.
and you can find us.
I wonder if he'll listen to our podcast someday.
Probably not.
What if we contact him on Twitter about this?
Leo, get working on that.
just like some other people that we contacted on Twitter.
Oh, Matthew Ewald.
Hey, we should get him on a podcast as well.
No, let's be nice
next
to
week's
him.
topic will be Galador Factory 2016 with Matthew Ewald.
I hope he doesn't sue us for slander. Anyways.
Something I found really refreshing about it, too, was he admitted that Loss wasn't great, or even good, really.
Yeah. It was funny, because like when I was reading the transcript, you had loss, all lowercase. Then you had loss, capital O, capital L, small o, capital S, capital S. It's like the loss was a loss, and I had to reread that, so I was going, what the heck? Oh, that spider guy. That guy.
He's used for so many puns.
Yeah.
All
no
the
longer
puns.
punny.
But also,
He has the mask
this,
of punning.
This also gives me very hope that Merlin Mann knows how to learn from his mistakes, or learn from what the community doesn't like and what they do like, in putting into the new videos.
Yeah, because as Meso said, everyone goes into a craze. End quote. And yeah, I like that quote. I felt like quoting.
But yeah, also it gives me hope for the Skull villains that they might be sentient and not just random zombies.
I'm sure most of the grunts will be more like random zombies, but Skull Grinder seems more like a sentient boss guy kind of guy.
Yeah, actually, real quick, to back up what Leo just said, on Lego.com, on the products page, they replaced the icon for Bionicle with Skull Grinder's head.
They did?
As of this podcast, they have.
Yeah,
Let me see.
40 and I looked it up earlier. And then they also updated
They've
the
also-
Ninjago page, and we are desperately trying not to look at anything there.
You know, soon we're
Because
going to have to start
spoilers.
tracking the stores, because these sets are going to hit the shelves any
They
day
did.
now. Early release.
Hopefully. I hope they get an early release. That would be awesome.
June,
Well-
I think.
They're
Isn't
supposed
it
to be... Yeah, it's June now. I think they're supposed to be released in July, but their winter sets were supposed to be released in January, and we were getting them in December.
Yeah. Well, remember
Well,
what
in some places.
Remember what Malcolm Merlin, I mean Merlin Mann said? How one thing that they didn't like was that the sets got released so early. So I'm guessing Lego's probably putting in measures to make sure that doesn't happen. Now,
Yeah.
some stuff will get out.
True.
I'm fairly confident.
But
But
this
at the
has
same
been
time,
happening
you know-
for years.
Yeah, it's been happening for
Yeah.
years, but what I don't think is like what about that statement that he made about the sets being released and that's not to Lego's liking is that they released the first 3 animations in December before the sets were released, and then the
I think
sets
that
were
was
released.
planned.
And then, yeah.
You know, give us a
So
taste
I
of what's to come.
figured that was a plan, but then again, it could have just been a part of that. Like they
Guys-
could have like coincided with those two. I don't know. Yes, Chris.
Well, there was a while back where some of us got some of the sets early. We were posting pictures all over the wiki. Like, hey, we got this. We memed about a dozen of them and all that. Lego saw those, and they're all, dang it! Oh my gosh! So they had 2 options: either hire a hitman to kill Chris, or just not do early release for the summer.
Chris speaks in third person.
Chris does speak in third person. Let's move on.
Oh. Anyway.
So, yeah, the animations, okay, I'll admit, I just had to go do something real quick. So, let's go back to how the community, like, feels about the animations and how they feel now
Yeah.
that
Oh, boy.
TDV has interviewed this guy.
Oh boy.
Well, I found the most interesting part is the animations had the same budget as commercials.
Well, at least they're not just 90-second commercials. At
Yeah.
least.
It's hard to say.
Yeah.
I really think, given a better time frame, I think Merlin Mann has the ability to write something longer and more fleshed out. Because if you
Oh, of
think
course
about
he
it,
does.
each one of these animations, they do a very clear point, and that's kind of what got us in the end. Is it's just it felt too rushed, and there's nothing there except for the main point.
Yeah, it got the gist of the story along, and it made it so that for kids, they could reenact that and then keep going on with their story or like fill in the gaps as they go,
Yeah.
which is what they're supposed to do anyway. And I feel like people don't see that because they're like, oh, I don't like the sets, the story is all the thing.
Which, as I said, the sets are the selling point, and the story is simply
Exactly.
there to.
They've
aid in the
definitely
process.
changed their focus.
I think
They've
people are.
definitely
I'm
changed
still
the focus.
resting on my assumption that this is not the main story. This is just a recap. We gotta wait
far
until we
as
can
we
get.
know.
There's gonna be graphic novels and books, which are a lot more content than 90-second animations.
Did we get when the graphic novel was supposed to be released?
I believe
November?
November.
November, I
Was that-
believe.
Excellent.
They're saying that the
excellent.
next. They're saying that the book will be August or September, maybe.
I believe there's one in August and one in December.
2
Two.
years.
Well, I got me some future shopping to do. But going back to the whole this part of the story might be a recap. You know, I immediately thought of Ninjago because Ninjago's the best thing to compare Bionicle to when it comes to Lego themes.
Bionicle is the best thing to compare Ninjago to.
It's always
Either
about
way.
Ninjago.
But yes, it is always about Ninjago in the end. Hail Garmadon. Anyways, I thought about how at the beginning when they did the first 2 episodes, like that was their origin story. Lego was still testing out the waters.
Yeah.
That's
what I keep saying too. Ninjago's first year was pretty boring.
It was boring.
I mean, it only had 2 episodes, really. It was just like one big special and a few shorts.
And then think about next year. We got like tons of side plots, mini plots, character details, a whole season of a show. That was when it really took off.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
Which I'm really hoping that's what Lego's doing. That I mean,
and Merlin Mann, the way he talked, it sounded like that is what they're doing. He said they're testing the waters.
Yeah, I remember he said that multiple
NDA,
times.
So, I mean, it would be really nice to get a Bionicle TV show. Don't get me wrong, but it just like now might not be the best time for it. In my
I don't
opinion.
think I want a TV show for Bionicle.
Yeah, I don't want a TV show either because I don't want it to get like I don't want it to get alienated. I don't want it to turn into like
an interactive game that has over 1,000 playing options.
but only like 6 levels
and over 100 possible story arcs.
Well, at this point,
we want Mass Effect Bionicle, okay? Bionicle effects.
Oh my gosh!
Better yet, The Elder Scrolls 6 Bionicle. The Elder Scrolls 6 Matanui. Bang!
Fire Emblem Bionicle.
Pay me, Bethesda.
Half-Life 3 Rise of Makuta. I don't know. I'm grasping at straws here. See, I was thinking about it too, because at first I was like, man, a Bionicle TV show would just be the bomb. But thinking again about Ninjago, they turned into something kind of... We don't watch Ninjago for any other reason than that it's entertaining. Like, Oh, go ahead.
That's the reason you watch any show, though, is because it's entertaining.
Well, not exactly. I mean, some people watch a TV show because, you know, they're really highly interested in the plot, or they love the character specifically. Ninjago isn't all that...
It.
Or their job to critique it, of course. But with Ninjago, you know, I'm not looking for, like, an epic plot or amazing character development.
I'm the guy that goes and pieces together the Ninjago plot to figure out all the plot details.
And
I think I can see where Chris is going with this. I mean, when I watch Ninjago, I look for, okay, it's a story, and it's a kid's show, but it also is geared toward a family setting.
Yeah, there you go.
And I can appreciate that. It's entertaining as a family show, and I approve of being a family show. And if I had children, I'd let them watch it, and I'd watch it with them too.
Yeah.
A family show, so like the Mafia.
Well, I mean, like, we were mentioning Arrow earlier. I think this is before the podcast started or during. I can't remember.
Yeah, we were talking about Arrow.
Yeah, like Arrow, I don't watch that show because it's purely entertaining. I mean, it's pretty cool to see him, but Oliver Queen is just... His character development is amazing. His role as the Arrow is pretty awesome. What they've done with
He's Batman.
He is basically Batman. He gives Batman a run for his money, except for Christopher Nolan's Batman, who'll live in infamy. But like that's the reason why I watch the show. Now, if we draw this back to Bionicle, here's why I don't want a TV show, because it's not going to be. I mean, these are the characters. These are characters that we've learned to love since
2001.
Since 2001, the earlier days of our youth. I was trying to think of a specific age, but I should just use a year. And think about it, if there's a Bionicle TV show, it's going to be about as entertaining as Ninjago. When in reality, the more we look into it, we see that kind of like Arrow plot development. Or like those fun little details in The Flash. Or even just the suspense and the mysteries of like Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And
the thing is,
yeah,
they're two different properties. They're Ninjago and Bionicle, but despite all the similarities, are very different in the way they're presented to us.
Agreed.
And Ninjago, we like it for one. We like the lighthearted humor sometimes. It has a generally good plot, though it's a bit messy at times. It still keeps a plot to keep us engaged. But with Bionicle, it's not like that. It was never very humor based. It was
kind of in the beginning.
Well, okay, kind of in the beginning, but in the beginning
every
of any
single
theme,
time Liwa had to be saved by Onoa.
Yeah. And even then, like, I've read those parts of the comics or watched it in the Mad Nui Online game. Those are some of my favorite parts. A, because it has Onua, and Onua is the best. But B, because...
I don't know. For me, I really didn't like Bionicle till the story too much until 2006.
Well,
some more in 2004.
Heretic. Burn him at
You're
the stake.
that guy. I see.
Cast him into the fire!
I mean, I'm not saying I dislike the earlier years at all, but Bionicle is not Bionicle to me until 2006.
With chain link fences.
Yeah,
I do agree
I can
that
see
they
where you're
changed
coming
the
from.
mood.
I can respect that.
Yeah. But even at the beginning, it was different. Like Liwa versus Onua. Remember when they did all the other ninja versus Cole with the Hypnobrai? There were so many jokes there. There are more jokes in that one scene than there are in Avengers: Age of Ultron. I mean, they were just yucking it up there.
No. There's way more jokes in Avengers: Age of Ultron.
It's called an exaggeration. Anyways, I think back to like
Hyperbole.
Okay.
Big words.
Big words.
Braveheart.
I don't use big words as...
But anyways, my point is,
I
humor
like
is
little
part
words.
of Ninjago. It's part of its essence, is that Lego-related humor.
Boom.
Yeah, like they can pull it off. But in Bionicle, you're saying
Yeah.
that they really can't?
Bionicle is just, it's no use trying to make one like the other.
Boom.
They're
Exactly.
two different things, and they're good how they are alone.
Boom.
Yeah.
Truth.
Like, you don't have to get something, like, so that they mesh in with the two. I mean, it's pretty much why Chima failed with me. It was basically, like, the really bad knockoff version of Ninjago.
Yeah,
to me,
the thing
as
is,
far as the
Chima had
show
That's
went.
what
such a
everyone
good
thought.
concept. Chima had such a
Yeah.
good concept, but they couldn't pull it off because they tried to be like Ninjago.
Agreed.
Didn't let it be its own thing.
Pretty much.
Yeah, Chima could have been pretty awesome. In fact,
Well, I will admit that it was pretty good at the end.
It
Wait.
lost me
Never.
before the end.
Yeah.
I have not watched a single episode.
I watched like the first 3 or 4.
I watched about a fourth of it, and I realized there are so many better ways to just kill my brain cells. There just are.
Like overnighting it on a cactus test.
Exactly.
I mean,
Work.
I could
Exactly.
do a grade A reenactment of Laval right here, right now.
Do it. Just a bit.
Like, Shaw, dude, we gotta go save the day.
With drums.
A goat. You sound like a goat.
Oh, we gotta go save the day. I don't care about you, Eris. We gotta go save the day.
Goats and Chima would have been awesome.
The goat tanks and the goat plane.
It's
Goat
Krieger.
man.
We gotta go save the day.
Dropping the goat bombs. Building the goat empire.
I'm waiting for my neighbors to come and be all, Chris, shut up. But yes, goats. That would so get my goat, if you know what I mean.
Goat Tribe, 2016. 2016, Goat Tribe. We're doing it.
Chima already is over. They just put the last of
yeah.
the sets that were like caught in development hell on the market this summer.
How many fire
Yeah.
versus ice sets can you freaking
That's what
make?
another thing I didn't get.
I
in
know.
Chima. Why it turned to fire versus ice?
And okay, you know what would have
Because
been really
it's the
cool?
classic struggle.
You know what would have been really cool if they held the release of the Ultra builds to North America until 2015, but they're not doing that.
I know.
They're not
Ultra Builds had
releasing
so
them in
many
the-
cool
North
parts I
America at all.
wanted to. I was gonna buy
I
those just for the
know.
parts.
At least we'll get some of those with Bionicle.
Yeah.
See, like when we go camping, my family, we're out in the middle of the woods, and every now and again we like to fly off some
They have Chima
firecrackers.
Ultra Builds out there? Is that where Lego's keeping them?
No, what I'm saying is
They
that
have
if I were to buy a Chima
Just
Ultra
like the
build,
old Bionicle part builds.
no, what I'm saying is that if I were to buy a Chima Ultra build, I'd probably strap a couple firecrackers to it and throw them in the river.
What? Those parts are so cool,
What?
though. The
It's-
Chima
it's
Ultra Builds are
Chima.
not bad sets.
The sets are
I looked
okay,
at it. I
but
felt
the-
sick inside.
See the part,
Which one were you
Chima-
looking at?
All of them.
He's very specific.
I am very specific.
That's just Chris being Chris. Let's go on.
Hey,
Okay.
I resent that. Anyways,
Back to the what we started this interview. I'm really interested to see what we're getting in the summer too, because he seems to be, with knowing all the criticism that he's gotten, excited that we're gonna like these summer animations.
True.
Of course,
mean-
you never want to give them the idea that they won't like them. Of course,
Oh yeah, because that's
Oh,
the
no.
business.
yeah, but
yeah,
I don't know.
cautiously optimistic. Those were his exact
but
words.
nothing about that struck me as being dishonest about it.
Well, you see,
Yeah, it seemed like he was pouring a lot of himself into what he was writing. Like he didn't seem like he was, like he wasn't proud of his writing.
It seems like he was very proud of it, but at the same time,
Yeah.
he realizes he can be better.
Yeah, and then the summer wave will roll around and we'll realize that this is the greatest thing since cheesecake, and then
that
the
remains to
success
be
of-
seen.
Then the success of these animations will make Lego realize that we need to feature-length movie.
You know what? I want a web series. That's what Bionicle needs.
This is a web series.
No, a real web series. More than like 90-second
like 15-minute episodes.
Yes. Like, not a TV series, not something they would have to premiere on Cartoon Network and gain an audience like that, but a web series.
See, what I think would be interesting as well, I mean, let's say Lego did go ahead. They have the Ninjago TV show, but even as something as basic as like a Netflix instant series, just something out there to kind of expand on this original storyline. Honestly, I think a web series would be great, and honestly, there are 1,000 different places they could go. But considering everything that Mr. Merlin here has said, I think we're good to go. And you know what, Leo? Now I really want cheesecake. Thanks for your comment.
You're welcome. I try my best.
Oh, before I forget, Orion wanted me to shout out to Merlin Mann for saying his favorite movie is The Blade Runner, as that is Orion's favorite movie as well.
What's not Orion's favorite movie?
A lot of things.
Yeah,
actually, most things.
It'd be easier to answer what is his favorite movie.
You know, now that Merlin Mann's name is out there, though, he needs to restart his Mexican restaurant. I'm sure Bionicle fans from all over the world will travel there to have his guacamole.
Yep, because
he'd have to he would have to rename his whole menu with like different little clips from Bionicle,
like the Takua salad,
the Tahu with extra sriracha. No, the Tahu with ghost peppers.
The Makuta fish. Just the Makuta fish.
Makuta fish tacos.
Oh.
Yeah, I found a lot of the details about his life pretty interesting as well. I really like seeing like the journey of the people. I'm really interested in like creatives, like the people who write scripts or stuff and work in media for that aren't like the big guys up front, but work behind the scenes with it.
True.
Yeah,
I mean, it's always fun to see like what they came up with or what they came from, like old prototypes of old sets,
like the voodoo heads
you can find, like the voodoo heads and like the old, the famous Inika prototypes.
Oh yeah,
yes, those
because they're so different,
Kongu,
and somehow they made it into VNOG.
Somehow. Well, guys, I have no clue what is going on in the background. Anyways,
you shouldn't be able to hear that on the recording. So why did I even mention it?
Great.
Because I was concerned. Anyways, we should probably
professionalism.
We should probably start calling it wraps here.
Just a few more things I want to mention before.
Turkey wrap,
all right, a few more things. I'll let you guys have your dog biscuits.
One, I do want to mention. I'm very happy to hear that Merlin Mann had worked with Christian Faber in the past, because Christian Faber is the Bionicle guy. He's what gave the base to Bionicle in the first place. I think just knowing him gives you an idea of like the kind of personality Bionicle needs behind it.
Yes.
It needs dark, brooding, and chain link fences.
It needs rain. It needs
and loud music.
It needs smiling villains.
You guys make it sound like
Batman. It needs more Vizon.
That is Batman.
It is Batman.
2006 is Batman.
I am Vizon.
Is that our podcast title?
And I'm gonna get you.
No, we're not doing those titles anymore. I'm just gonna put what we're actually talking about in the title.
Well, that's
split my personality.
You want to know how Vazon got those scars? Well, I'll tell you. No.
I'm the Shadowed One.
Anyway, so final thoughts, everyone. Merlin Mann definitely seemed like an awesome guy, and I'm glad he's on the Bionicle team. I encourage LEGO to keep him on there in the future.
Merlin Mann is pretty epic, even though I keep calling him Malcolm Merlin in chat and etc. When we're talking behind the scenes, I kept saying, yeah, it's Malcolm Merlin, the Dark Archer. No one except for 40 got that reference.
No, I got it because I look up every time you make a reference and figure out what it means.
Okay, so ha, looks it up. Oh, now ha. Yeah. But yeah, he's a pretty cool guy, and I'm starting to think that I feel hungry for cheesecake, so I'll see if Merlin here wants some cheesecake and coffee or something.
I think we could just close off this thing with just saying that with all these people who say that LEGO hasn't listened to them or they haven't listened to the fans, we have this whole interview with Merlin Mann to say, no, you are wrong.
And it also shows
Truth.
they're going to listen to your criticism if you do it constructively.
Exactly.
So let's just say that now that the waters have been tested, they're boiling. Now we're ready to put the pasta in.
Yes.
Bionicle pasta.
Sweet pasta.
Now there's our title.
New from Bionicle, cannoli pasta.
Let's just make sure it doesn't
The
come
evil
out
skull
creepy.
pasta is taking over the land.
Quick, get your Tahu pasta.
Okay, Chris.
Use his
wanna
special
sign
gear
us out?
pasta function.
Alright, sorry, what was that?
Watch him fling the pasta
Want to
everywhere.
sign us out now?
Alright.
Find the pasta. Live the legend.
Well, first off, we'd like to thank the inventor of pasta. You're a genius. Just epic
Marco
genius. We'd also like to thank the maker of cheesecake. You are also genius. We'd like to thank...
And popsicles.
We'd like to
Popsicles
thank
are great.
Merlin P Mann, the Bionicle Archer. Couldn't resist. And anyways, we should probably be signing off now because we all have real life to get back to. Oh wait, we're not supposed to make you think that. Anyways, from Bionicle Commentary Central, I'm Chris, here with LQ, Leo, and Fordian. We bid you all a great day. Like us on Facebook,
Goodbye,
follow us on
people.
Twitter, and that's about it.
Rate 8 out of 8.
LQ,
Okay,
finish with
everyone.
the universal greeting.
Let me see if I can get it. Ba we gra wa ni mong.
What? No, you
Oh my
completely
god.
ruined it.
Okay,
That's
you know what?
right.
I'm
This
the
isn't
new
even a
I'm the
greeting.
new guy and I can do it.
is
Ba
an
weep
exit.
grana weep ninny bong.